What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review the newest studio album from Armand Hammer entitled Shrines. Armand Hammer is a duo which consists of Billy Woods, MC, and another MC, Elucid, who also produces as well, from what I understand. This is the second Armand Hammer project, or at least album, I'll be reviewing on this channel. They've been around since like 2013. The first album was Race Music, which I haven't listened to yet, actually. I listened to Rome in 2017, but I didn't review it. I did review Paraffin, though. That was one of the most underrated projects of the year, if you ask me. And now they're here with Shrines and Elucid. I'm definitely aware of him, but I'm more so familiar with Billy Woods. Billy Woods, man, I think what was that year he dropped Known Unknowns? Let me see. 2017. Hiding Places last year with Kenny Segal as well. And he had a project called Terror Management, which I did not get around to actually. And in 2015, I started to hear more about him when he had the album Today I Wrote Nothing. So I'm more so familiar with Billy Woods than Elucid, but I'm definitely aware of who Elucid is, and have heard his music outside of Armand Hammer, whether it be features or his own projects. And his production, I'm sure I've heard some of his production. I just may not have known it was him. He actually is a part of Nostrum Grocers with Milo. They did Nostrum Grocers in 2018, which I liked, but I wish I liked more. I have to go back to it and listen more because it's one of those projects where I know or just feel that I should like it more than I do, because with the beats and what they're talking about, it appeals to what I like to listen to the most when it comes to hip-hop music. Let's go ahead and get right into this album review. Armand Hammer with Shrines, fourth studio album. So, man, sometimes with the notes it's hard to keep up. Come on now, here we go. So, with the first track, Bitter Cassava, featuring Pink Sifu. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He dropped an album earlier in the year, actually, which I didn't know about until I was on hip hop Twitter and somebody said something about it. It's pretty alright. I downloaded a few tracks off of that album. But anyway, a very smooth, lavish beat to introduce this album. Billy's just talking about how he tries to help niggas in the game, but in return he gets stabbed in the back. He said he feels like RZA. I was like, oh shit, that. And he talks about it was either him or I think it was him that said they were unacknowledged nominees, and I believe it was him again that said fireflies in a jar, poke a hole so I can breathe. So it just seems like he loves hip hop. He's in it because he loves it. It's an avenue for him, but at the same time, it's kind of toxic. Like, you know, fireflies in a jar, poke a hole so I can breathe. He's getting stabbed in the back. It's like, I love this game, but I don't love all of it, type of thing. The next track, Solarium. I'm on the sun, I'm on the sun. That's the perfect lyrics for the chorus and this just what feels like a sunny day type of vibe and beat. Kind of like today, actually. The next track, Charms, featuring Kia, who dropped an album as well. She was one of those artists who I saw on hip hop. I was on hip hop Twitter, and they talked about artists who have dropped some of their favorite albums of the year. And Kia and Pink Sifu happen to be those artists. And she dropped Forever Your Girl, which is pretty alright as well. I downloaded a good bit of tracks off of that as well. But Charms featuring Kia, it gets back more to the sound that I expect to hear from Armand Hammer. I think it was Billy that said Eve had a sister who knows what he did with her. And just very soulful vocals from Kia. They're nice as well on here. Some quotes here. From the rib, we were two. We speak abundance, seeking oneness. I think that was Elucid that said that. And from the dust reanimated and birthed new. From the dust reanimated and birthed new. From the rib there were two. We speak abundance, seeking oneness. I believe that was Elucid saying that. And I like the little outro skit, I guess you can call it, about survival. That message there towards the end, that was cool. The next track, Pommel Horse, featuring Curly Castro. The chorus here is very catchy. It switches up to like when the moon and the stars and the planets collapse, or when the stars and the planets and the moon collapse. I feel like each artist is one of each. Like Billy might be the sun, Castro might be the moon, and the stars, they might be Lucid. And I feel like the sun would be the beat. It's just how I was perceiving that track though. Anyway, the next track, Leopards, featuring Nosage or Nosai. Given the outro skit of Pommel Horse and about taking care of a tiger, like how much it costs to take care of a tiger, and plus the album cover, I really paid extra attention to this track. Talking about this, Billy talked about the savage in him who has sharp teeth and how the streets made him this way. And this beat actually sounds like a woo beat, if I'm being honest. And this quote right here, I should have listened when they told me you wasn't folk no more. Sticking white lawyers on your boy. Seize another Vic, cease and desist. Real nigga, I think not. I'm rehearsing for a world where you don't exist. Yeah, man. Freak. Billy, bro. Just that dude, man. The next track, King Tubby. When Billy said Pac blood, one sip, a rapper could beat all his cases, I was like, it made me go, but it made me laugh at the same time. I was like, he talked about hiding places was inside my mind's labyrinth and mazes. I feel like that's, of course, a reference to Hiding Places last year with Kenny Segal. And then he said, flip phone, paying an African's call home on occasion, seeming happier, sound like sincere. I sincerely hope Cape Town been on your Acura. It's like, these dudes are just different. Like, they'll talk about things and make things rhyme that you just would not expect or think of. But it's unique to them, so you would expect it from them and their ilk. The next track, Frida, featuring Quelly, Chris, and Fielded. This beat feels like an off-kilter, lo-fi hip-hop vaporwave beat, honestly. Like, the transition into a Lucid verse is hard, but it's not even like a beat switch or a transition. Like I said on the Run the Jewels review with Holy Kellermafuck, how that beat warped, this beat warped too. It reminds me of that track, like, not in the sound, but just how they warp into something new. What did Billy say here? The buck that lost the lotto could have bought a bottle. Of course, playing off Nas, off of Illmatic, off The World Is Yours. Like, man. And it might have been a Lucid who said this part. Your mind's the greatest weapon, but your heart's the biggest target. Marksman, I devour from the lands of town forgotten. Power, power, power on the minds without it. Cowards in high places refute the world is ours. Or this world is ours. Whew. Like, man, like I said, bro, these dudes just freaking ill, man. The next track, Slewfoot. I believe this is one long quote that I have written here. Well, I have a few, actually. Slow burning, all-consuming, ever-present movement you choose not to see. The labor's free, with hidden fees. Razors tucked under wigs and weaves plus degrees. Plus degrees, talking about, I believe that's a 5% reference. And they're just talking about how the end is near, and they had a Marshawn Lynch sample from an interview, just dropping wisdom in that interview, talking about taking care of your money, your family, your chickens, your mental, etc. Because it doesn't last long, just like you. And I think it was Lucid that said it'll be a new nigga next year, they won't miss you. And this track is kind of just seems to be about niggas on the run, but with a slew foot. Next track, War Stories. Okay, here we go. I've got a few quotes here, I believe. Cease and desist, the owner signs it out of business. Dimwit still lined up the company store with script. The next quote is, like every deadbeat dad, his excuse better than the one he had. Even the haters ain't want it to be this bad. And he talks about how, with the story like this, it seems like a prosecutor thought about dropping the case, but then passed on that and said, "Nah, nigga, you gone." And Billy talks about how he's seen, read, and heard the stories, and how he thought he was better than that. And he was depressed watching old men bicker over some 25-year-old beef. And like all these years later, they still ain't learned shit. And I feel like he's talking about them, but he also might be talking about himself as well. I don't know. Billy and Elucid are just those kind of rappers that make you think. Just like the guys who are featured on here. Next track, Flavor Flav, produced by Steel Tipped Dove, who I believe is the one who produced the first album in 2013. Okay, these quotes right here, man. I got ideas and dreams that don't work in practice. I got a time machine and it don't go backwards. Man, like damn. I got ideas and dreams that don't work in practice. I got a time machine and it don't go backwards. Whew. Here they're just talking about how it's go mode. And another quote is, "It's easy to lose track and get trapped in the future." And they're saying that time is on their side, like, till it's not. Elucid talked about escaping death from state troopers. It's like a story of attempted murder, and they were laughing as they were shooting him down or shooting at him. And in the end, they were acquitted and slept proudly. Elucid talks about being lucky to make it out alive with just the shakes. He can still feel the rounds flying past his face. And this little quote right here really kind of cemented the track. "One last shot. Time is on your side till it's not." And also, another quote is, "Traveling 50 years back, I only moved the pen 6 inches. Woke on the benches, pale faces beyond the fire, rabid with sickness." Like this track and the track before, or the previous track before that, it reminds me of these times. Like the rioting and looting and sending in the troops and things like that, and things that may have happened that you may not be aware of, or that happened and you are aware of. It's like it's just fitting of the times. The next track, "Dead Cars" featuring Rap Farrar. Here's another one of those artists. What I said earlier, guys that just make you think. It was a cool feature from Milo. A nice beat switch / transition here. It just feels like that nighttime dead streets but covered with former life vibe, like very eerie. Next track, Parables featuring Akai Solo. Elucid speaks on Noah here and the ark and the flood, and Billy talks about death. And Akai said, "You say that we deserve better, but look at what we're doing for ourselves." Really felt that. And he had the longest verse on this track too. Now the next track, Ramses II, featuring Moore, Mother, Earl Sweatshirt, and Fielded. The title is referencing the third pharaoh of the 19th Egyptian dynasty. Like when I saw the name, I was like, oh shit, they're talking about him. Like him. Like damn. Moore Mother said, "I'm a Black Panther knife to the neck of King Leopold, the glamorous life." Billy said, what is it? The sight you had the best. You thought you had the best till you taste better. Sometimes I just can't read my own handwriting. Earl said, "Roll up on a map, I know where I am. Blood stain on my father's father's land." And after the Earl's verse, we had another beat transition exclusively for Elucid's verse, which I've got to read like the whole verse. Well, not the whole verse, but Elucid said, "Catch me in the corner not speaking doesn't mean I don't have much to say. I bet you can't tell when I'm tweaking. My anxiety don't look like yours." I was like, whew. That's relatable. That's relatable. But I have to read this particular part of the verse. I even wrote a note to make sure that I do. Hold on here. Here we go. Let me pull up these lyrics. I even freaking bookmarked The lyrics off genius for this. I was like, I cannot not talk about this, or at least quote it. Where is it at? Billy said, maybe I'm not who I thought I was. Like, I'm reading the verse from pretty much from that part. Maybe I'm not who I thought I was, or who I can be, or can be who I said I would. My conjured tongue, strong blood, and material to material, damn, cuz make it so. In the image of my most perfect projection. Life is anything but static, supreme mathematics, repeating numbers, cycles, patterns, summers, winters, starting later, ending faster, Bible question, chaos answered, wave reflected, all direction. Oh my goodness. Elusive. That's what I'm talking about, man. And the last track, the Eucharist, which is like a ceremony. It's kind of like you know what they do at the first Sunday in churches. I forget what it's called. It's just Billy. What did he say here? My mom used to say a bad penny finds its own way to hell. What did he say? Yeah. I can't read my own handwriting. Oh yeah. My mom used to say a bad penny finds its own way to hell. The leaven's fashion they on crosses, begging me to drive the nails. Followed the devil to the high places, the pinnacle, the wilderness, vibrate, do good or miserable. Do good is miserable. Let me say that again, because my mom used to say a bad penny finds its own way to hell. They leaven's fashion they on crosses, begging me to drive the nails. Follow the devil to the high place, the pinnacle, the wilderness, vibrate, do good is miserable. The palate, silence, that's a signal too. What else? Negroes say, let's stick together, but then make funny moves. Black is beautiful, brother, but it ain't super glue. Hey, he's right. He talks about how Christianity is cultural appropriation. He talks about Freemasons. This quote right here, shoot the shit till I'm certain they're idiots, then relax. That's relatable too. Shoot the shit with somebody, then you find out they're an idiot. Fall back, just relax. And he talked about how Mace came out the church like Satan, and then towards the end he said, "Did Jay listen to the evils or devils, or just skim through it? I took the prophecy to him and turned Jewish." And he said something about shine too, like, you know, shine, SHYNE, shine, not just shine, but it's like, but he was referencing shine, of course. It's like, damn, this project is just another solid addition, like another interesting piece to another piece to the interesting puzzle that is Armand Hammer's discography. Not that I don't get it, but I still hear things and find or listen and hear something new, find something new, learn something new. It's like it's another puzzle to the interesting maze. I mean, it's another piece to the interesting puzzle maze that is Armand Hammer's discography. Yeah, man, they talked about the 5% or drop 5%. References, Christianity, talking about current times or relating to current times, whether that was directly or indirectly, whether that was on purpose or not. Now, that's a hot album. What can I say? I'm feeling a 7.5 out of 10 on this project. If you've heard it, please let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. If you haven't heard it, I definitely recommend that you check it out. Then come back and let me know what you think about it and what you think about my review. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button if you like the review, share the review, subscribe to the channel if you're new and like the content that you see. Check the description because my social medias and everything else are down there as well. And thank you for watching once again. I will see y'all next time.